got a chance to take Tristan Hall's new game, Kreel Manor, to the table. Let's take a look right now. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you so much for spending time with me as we rant about movies, comic books, and television shows, as well as the occasional board game, which we're going to be doing today. I am your host, Frank Zanka. I'm an award-winning screenwriter, novelist, and comic book writer, as well as a filmmaker. So yeah, I got a chance. I just finished up on a show, so I had some time to take this game to the table. So I read the instructions and watched the video, and the video didn't really help me much. And the rule book is incredibly vague at times. So I'm like, ugh, I hope I can make this work. I think I did a good job, but you know, I always get the little notes back. No, you did this wrong. So let me know if I did anything wrong. It won't hurt my feelings in the least. Before we get into it, remember to give me a like and a subscribe if you can, and it'll notify you about when I drop new videos. I am trying to grow the channel out. Plus, I also, as I said, write comics. This is my comic that just is about to come out. I'm going to be sending this fulfillment to all of my Kickstarter supporters, donors, etc. And if you want one, let me know. This is my vampire mob set in 1950s Hollywood. So we have, you know, gun-toting, and we have Marilyn Monroe, and we have plenty of blood, sex, and violence in it, and things to that effect. So it's lots of fun. Yeah, we have rippings and all this stuff. It's if you want a little bit of vampire action, then you definitely can not go wrong there. So if you want one, let me know, because we're going to be going into full print run shortly. Plus, since you're here because of a board game, I also have marketed. I'm marketing this right now with Mark Spears, who does a lot of comic book artwork for Marvel, DC, Spawn, Vampirella, etc. And he just had a whole bunch of all this amazing monster artwork. So we teamed up to do a game that is a deck builder area control game where you can play as your favorite classic monster. Yep. So check out the link in the description below to Kickstarter. We're going to be launching on October 1st. So definitely get notified about when we launch so I can get all the early bird specials and things to that effect. All right, so let's talk about Kreel Manor. I also did an unboxing, which I'll link that at the end of this as well. But I did an unboxing, and I thought it had to do with Killforth. When I put this up on Kickstarter, I didn't realize it was his own game. I thought it was part of the Killforth thing. And he was just adding some new rules and new cards, but it ended up being a whole different game. So it's a dungeon crawl game without the dungeon. I don't know how to say it, because I have plenty of dungeon crawl games that have miniatures and stuff like that. And what's going to separate this from something like that? According to the box, it says it's half hour, 40 minutes per player, and it has obviously a solo mode in it, which is what I'll be playing. But is it really? Because if it is only half hour, 40 minutes, then yeah, this is a game that I would break out, just to have a quick fix for that. But if it takes an hour and a half, 2 hours, then every dungeon crawl game I have is that length of time. It doesn't really set it apart from anything. So we're gonna play. I'm gonna do a setup, so that you can see exactly how to set the game up, and then I'm gonna play for an hour. So we'll see, how it goes, and we'll see if it's worth keeping in my collection. All right, so let's jump into it right now, and then we'll do final thoughts. How we doing, everyone? We are going to be doing a setup and playthrough of Tristan Hall's new game, Kreel Manor. I'm not a huge fan of his other war games, I do have one of them. But I am a big fan of all three of the Killforth. In fact, I thought, if you watch my unboxing, I thought this was a thing for Killforth. I've played through, this is going to be spoilers, because we are going to go through the first mission only. So if you have a problem with that, then you probably need to stop watching. However, if you don't, then let's continue. The rule book is vague. So if I make any mistakes or whatever else, just let me know. All right? So I did watch some other people play as well. So hopefully I'm playing this correctly. I don't think that this has the replayability that the other game has. All right, so we're going to start with, these are the silver items. These are the gold items, or bronze, I think they call them. And these are my items for my particular character. And then these are the statuses. I'm just going to put them all in one, and the wounds. So that's the wounds, but the wounds only happen if you're killed off completely. So I start with 20 health. They call it spirit, but it's health. I don't know why spirit would be used. It's kind of odd. These are my threat shadow areas, 3 through 1. This is the beginning card, which you don't actually address until the end of the mission. Because you have to make a decision once the mission ends. And that goes in my threat area. This is my threat area, although it's not set up yet because I wanted to show you the setup side. So it also starts with Mission 1, the Great Hall of Kreel. This is the card you start with. The other 2 cards here are just standard cards, and it basically tells you to need 2 of them. So they're random. And then we have the entranceway, which I guess is only for the first mission, and it's called the Regal Great Gateway of Kreel. And I was confused about this because I'm like, damn, that's easy. It only needs 2. That's only because it's the first one, and I guess they want it to be a little bit easy. This is my deck for my skills. So I have 10 skills in here that are just generic, and there's also 10 skills for my Night Raven. So you're going to see everything that's green here because that's the color of my character. And then at the very back of it, you have a mastery card. So that it's a 1 per mission use. Okay, so that gets at the bottom. Then you have your 3 dice that are all the colors of your actions that you do here. So this is the actions were in that order that it showed in the book. This is my sneak, my influence, and my fight. And then I have my starting item, which is my starling, or I think it's my starling longbow. I can use all of my abilities and actions in the shadows as well, and this gives me +1 fight. Obviously, the board is set up. This is 3, 2, 1. We're going to get into that as well. And this is a 2-handed weapon, so basically both of these slots are full. Then I have my head and my chest. I have a bag. I have 2 bag slots. And then the 2 corners here are foot and ally. It's called follower, but it's basically an ally. All right, so that's all that works. I was told to keep the goblin cards to the side, which I did. So that's what's over here. And then this character only comes into play if I run out of these cards, my threat cards, and I haven't beat everything. All right, the reason I have these out here is because there's a plot card on the back of each one. I wanted to show you the setup. So the setup is on this card here. So you get all of the villains. So when you go to a villain card, I was looking at the top here, but it's actually the bottom here you have to look at that matches the top. This one won't match because it was told to keep it to the side. but you can see all the names here. So there's 5 different names here, and then there's a 6th one if you're playing with multiple players, which I'm not. So that's how the whole setup happens, and then it tells you right here, Goblin Chief goes in S4. That's stack 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's in here. So, there he is. He's the foe of the area. Everybody else is just a standard villain. And then it says just to keep the plot in of the goblins in the box, so it's not actually in here. And that's it. So, and that is the last location. Whatever the actual adventure one is, the purple one, goes on the bottom. All right, so we have plot cards, because there's a plot card associated with each type of villain. So I have 5 types of villains, and there's 5 cards. They are random, and they're placed on the bottom, and then we shuffle each one of these stacked separately. So what's on top is all of the other threat villain cards. They've already been shuffled, and then I randomly put cards on top of each one till I run out. And it makes, each individual stack. In fact, what I should be doing is doing it this way. This is stack 5. And then I was like, why is the foe in stack 4 instead of stack 5? So I was confused about that. But then after I played, I realized that the game just goes on forever if you can't get at, because you can't get at the end of it until the foe is killed. So yeah, so if it's all the way in the back, then it takes forever to get there. So to complete the mission, I need to kill all the plots. I don't even need to kill all the villains. I just need to kill all the plots. And I need to put sneaks on all of the locations, including the last one. So I can actually do all that first, but there are some things on the locations that help you, like add attack or whatever else. So sometimes you don't want to kill them. So, and then I'll show you the different things as soon as we finish shuffling here, which I think is the last pack that I already did the first one. And then I just keep stacking them on top of one another to create the final threat deck. And this one's already done. Okay, and that goes over here. And then I immediately place one here. And that's the setup. That's everything. And then we have a booklet here that makes us read the storyline as we go. But here, I don't know why he didn't make a card for this. Instead, I have to have the book open the whole time, which is really weird. But story, read out the story card, if any. And I'm going to read that in a second. But this, again, this doesn't apply yet until the end. Any delve abilities, explore a location. If active location has sneak tokens equal to the sneak on it, which in this case is 2, it is defeated and new location is active. Adventure location cannot be defeated until all plots and foes are defeated. So plot and foe, but not threat. Victory check, blah, 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 that's pretty obvious. Active location effects. Apply ongoing effects from the location, which again are mostly positive, at least in this one. Add 1 threat to a Shadows Sneak 3 space. So what happens is there's the 3, so these will continue to move over until they're in the area here, and then they get exposed. I can expose them in the shadows as well, and I think this is the only character that allows you to attack them in the shadows as well. Alright, so and then I draw 1 skill, and I can play in any order. I can play any number of skills out of my hand. I can activate any abilities and assets. These are assets. Locations or stories. I can also tilt 1, which I'm going to show you, and I can add, the die are not for rolling, they're for keeping track of the amount of action abilities that you're going to be using. I'll show you that in a second also. Use 1 action, draw, scout, explore, or engage. These allow me, every one of the characters is different, so this allows me on the bottom here, I can either deal 1 sneak damage. So it automatically has 1 without a die on it. Let's see. Use sneak or a scout action. Oh, I can use a sneak or a scout action or draw 1 skill. I didn't realize I could do that. Okay, that's good. That means scouting means I can open up one of the shadows or draw 1 skill. So that allows me to do any of that. Deal 1 sneak damage. So basically, this would be 4 right now, or add 1 power. Tilt, I can add 1 power. Okay, so that's how that works. All right, but we're going to go into that in a second. That's the action side, and then spirit. If any threats are active, they deal damage to me, which is based on the card. And then I discard all my played skills. I have a skill limit of 6 in my hand, and actions and threats reset. Rotate them back, and end of round, new round begins. All right. So, and if you want to look at the setup side, you can see that it matches what I have right now, but you can see from there that, and it has tokens here, as you can see as well, the different areas that I don't have, block off, don't have a mat or anything like that. All right, so that's how that works. All right, so this tells me here, let me see if this thing has, yeah, so I have to read B50. That's the story. So let's read B50 when I have the right book in my hand. Okay. Okay, it's a very long paragraph here. Within the hallowed chambers of the Shadow Council of Solemn Assembly is converted to deliberate on the perilous mission ahead to infiltrate Kreel Manor and halt the sinister machinations of Arcturus Blackwood, the Lord of Kreel Manor. The task is monumental: dismantle Lord Kreel's nefarious supply chain, sow discord among their burgeoning allies, and thwart his insidious plans of raising an unstoppable army. So I'm going to let you read the last part, then it gives me the continuous thing here. As shown in the adventure location card, set aside working goblins, threat group, but leave the treasure chest plot card in the game box. These goblins are the goblin chief's retinue and may show up later in the adventure. To learn more about the Lord of Kreel Manor, read 71. Otherwise, begin your adventure. I've already read it myself, so I'm going to leave all that to you guys to read on your own. And I'm just going to start. And I continuously leave the book open for my to make sure I'm getting all of the things correct in the correct order. Okay, so we start with story. We did. There's no delve effects at this time. The locations have not been explored. No victory check. Active location effects. So let's read the location effect for the gateway. Influence, if 3, in other words, if I have 3 here, boldly announce your arrival. See, this one, I just noticed that. So this one has 1 sneak on it already. These do not. So this would be 0, 0, and 1, just FYI. So if I have 3 sneak or influence here, then it says boldly announce your arrival, deal 1 influence damage to all threats, limited once per round, I guess. The entrance to Kreel Manor is a magical portal wrought of wreath stone and veiled in ivy embrace, very small, bearing witness to centuries of lore. Okay, So I'm not going to have a villain card for 2 more rounds. So this gives me time to get some of my stuff done here. So every time I use one of these, I have to move it to the back. All right, so the first thing that's going to happen here is that this threat is going to move, and a new one's going to come out. Okay, then I'm going to draw 1 skill, so now I have 2 in my hand, and I think I'm going to immediately use this. And I can use this one too. In fact, I may just use both of these. One hero gains 1 spirit, of which I'm not wounded, so I don't need that. But I can gain 1 of each type of power. And this is how this works. So I'm going to go 1, 1. And that's what the die are used for. They're never rolled. Then I draw 2 skills and I reveal 1 shadow. So let's reveal the first guy. It's a plot card right off the bat, and I'm going to draw 2. That's why you're allowed to pick 1 to start with, and that's what I chose because it allows me to draw 2. Okay, so what I got was, so obviously since I'm the Night Raven, everything that's green is kind of my deal. The magic users are blue, and then the fighters are red. So everything, most of my cards you're going to see have to do with green. And it says add 3 sneak to a sneak action, which is this. If played on a shadow, this card instead adds 5. So if you notice, there's 5, and I can get rid of that plot right off the bat. And this one says add 3 sneak to a sneak action. Each hero may discard 1 skill to draw 1 skill. However, right now I'm already at 3, 4, 5. I'm already at 5. So what I may do is use this to destroy the plot. I do have this sitting out, but I only need 2, which means I can do it from over here. So I'm going to use this just for the 3, 4, 5, right? Because I already have 5, right? 3 plus this one is 5. All right. So this is going to come off completely because I'm using it, and these will all shift up. So right now this is 2. This will now come off, and I can use any of my cards now. I still have them. And I can hold up to 6. And it says defeat, choose 1. Right there in my glasses. All this text is so tiny now. Thank God with my cards, I did it bigger than this. Okay, I can scout, and I can sneak 4. Oh, if I have sneak 4, which I did, I had sneak 5. So I could read that one. So as a choice, I can either scout, or I could traverse, or I could collapse, but I need, so this is the secluded passage. Then use an extra action if able. Okay, so this is how this would be right now. Okay, because you don't move it until the end. So I jumped the gun. But I won't be able to use another action because everything else I have is sneak. And I didn't have enough to defeat it with the influence. But I can scout, so I can read B25. So let's read B25. All right, B25. Through the clandestine corridors, you navigate the secret passage, stumbling upon bewildered hunchback servant named Elmer. Is that Elmer Fudd? In the dim-lit labyrinth, he becomes an unexpected guide, his confusion transcending into a fount of invaluable knowledge. This way, my dear, I have something for you. Elmer leads you through hidden passages and in a secluded chamber. He offers you a humble meal, a respite in the heart of malevolence. Discard the active location or if it's an adventure location, deal 3 sneak to it, gain 1 spirit. I can't gain 1 spirit because I'm already at full, but I already discard this. And he led me out of the entrance. Okay, so now this would go down here in my discard pile. Okay, so good. That was a really good turn. And I am going to tilt this one. So what you're allowed to do is you're allowed to use 1 action and tilt 1 action every turn. I can't tilt an action that I used, and I can't use an action that I tilted, if that makes any sense. All right, so that's the story there. And also, if you notice that I picked this card here because it also is green and it also matches this number here. That's how I ended up using this Adventure 1. All right, so that's where that came from. And it tells me right there that I start with the Starless Longbow. So if you were wondering where that all came from, it's right here on the card. And then the back has the male version. Just FYI. Because Tristan does that all the time. He has male and female versions. All right, again, a really good turn. So now what happens is this is going to stand up. This is going to stand up. This is now going to come down here. This is all going to push forward. Like that. Oh, this comes off. I used it. Okay. So right now I'm only at 2. So I could have defeated that other one. All right. I love the ones that allow me to jump into the threat area. So these are all going to move over. So I could deal with this. So this one here gives me fight. If I have 3 fight, of which now I have 4, stomp and smash, the stash eggs, deal 1 fight, I don't know what the hell that you mean. Deal 1 fight damage to all threats, or 2 fight damage to a lizard man, of which there's no lizard man in this version, so that's irrelevant. Because again, these are standard, so you could use them multiple times. They're drawn randomly. Okay, so that moved over. I get a new threat, so now I have a new skill. So this will allows me to do 1 fight. So this one, because this is generic. If you notice, this one's gray and these are green. Anything that has to do with my personal skills are all going to be green. These are generic that all the heroes use. All right, but I have no threats right now. So what I'll probably end up doing is tilting my influence, moving that up to 2, and then using this 2 to put 2 damage. I can find a 2 on here. Okay, so now I have 3 more left. Because once they start coming in here, that's when everything gets rocky. So they give you extra time to start going through locations until you start hitting people. And then they're just going to gang up on you. There are cards that are going to let me mitigate that. Okay, so nothing moves because I had used this one, so that one goes back up. This is now going to move over. And I would love to scout at the same time, but if I scout one of these cards, then I won't be able to put stuff on here. So, and I can only use 1 action unless the plot tells me otherwise. So, what do? Do I scout? And if I scout, I won't be able to attack them because I'll be using that. So, I say I let 1 more round go, and I do another set of damage to the location. Damn it, because I can't destroy it because it's 5. Okay, let's bring my fight up to 3 for a tilt, and then let's use 2 more here, unless I use a card. maybe I should do that. Oh, I didn't draw a new card. Or did I? I think I was supposed to draw a new card. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to use the card to get rid of this. Rather than wasting my time. All right, so now we're in influence, and this is a 4. Influence, 3 action. So if I have 3 influences, I can create this action. Confiscate healing, bombs and bondages, or bandages, not bondages, that's funny. Heal 1 spirit, limit 2, once per round. So in other words, if I have 3 influence, I can heal 2. But I don't think we're going to have this problem. Okay, so these are going to stand back up. New threat's going to come out. So we have this dick here, and he has a thing on here. Each hero may only play 1 skill per round as long as he's in that threat area. Alright, so I'm going to draw a card. Lose 1 spirit to deal 2 fight damage to 1 threat. Okay, so my sneak is very weak, but his influence is 4. So I think that's what I'm going to be hitting him with, is influence. I'm going to talk my way out of this, because I have 3, 4, 5, because this is 0. The card is 0. So I only need 4. So I am going to tilt this for 1. I am going to use this for 4. So 3, 4, this is going to go down to 1. And he is going to get defeated. And some of them have a defeat thing. If he stays in there, he'll do 1 damage to me. But we haven't gotten to that phase yet. So this reminds me of that other game, Set a Watch. This is a more complicated version of Set a Watch, if you guys have played that. Okay, so that's the end of the turn there. I still have 4 here, and the last one I think is 3. So I only need 7 there to beat that. These are all add, so I can't do separate damage to them, just separate from the card. So this will be used, so that'll be going out of the way. This will all move over. And then this, as of course, and the back, this is an advanced. I don't know how you turn it over to make it advanced. Okay, so next turn, this will flip up, this will move over, and the game just continually plays that way. Unfortunately, he's an influence person. Luckily, I have an influence. Add 1 influence to an influence action. You sow doubt, and by infusing a touch of dark levity into the tension-laden atmosphere. That should have had a dash between them. So I'm going to use this to give me 1, 2, 3, and knock her out. Okay, so I'm going to use this. This will come off because I've used it. And I'm going to bump this to 2. With my tilt. So let's see what happens here. Defeat. Block any 1 non-foe threat. It gives me a block. And I also can heal 1. But again, I'm not damaged. So. Okay, so next turn. I use that, so that's there. Now I'm going to need to build that one up. All right, so next turn, this is going to come over here. to grab a card. I got Fight, and Fight is exactly what I'm going to need with him. I need to build my thing back up, so we're going to do 1 on this. And this gives me 1 fight right off the bat. This guy's going to get trashed. Okay, so I'm immune to all skill effects while in the shadows. It's irrelevant because he's out of the shadows. Okay, so I need to do 3 damage to him. I don't even need to use anything. This is automatically free. So he's gone right off the bat. I'm not even have to use anything on my die. And he has no defeated abilities or anything like that. He just goes away. Alright, so this is going to move over. And my fight is really strong right now. So right now I have 5, 6, 7 with it being in its last slot. And I still got this sitting out here with 4. I'm going to have to deal with that eventually. When I get a card that allows me to look at the shadows, I'm going to play with that. Another dwarf. Well, I have enough to beat him for the influence. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's take my card. And I'm going to use this card immediately, draw 2 skills, and reveal 1 shadow. There are guys here that, yeah, it's not this guy. There is guys in here, though, that exile your skill cards, which is a real pain. Okay, so I'm gonna flip this one, and I'm gonna take a card. Oops, I'm gonna take 2, right? Yeah, I take 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right now I have 7. So I have to use 1 for sure. And this is a sneak. Here are 3. And 5 influence. Should I leave him and take care of the plot card? And build up my influence instead? Yeah, let's let him damage me. And right now I have enough to defeat that without using anything. Sneak, sneak. Deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat. And return 1 non-foe threat to the top of the threat deck face up. That's what I'm going to do. It retains any tokens. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use that. So I got to get rid of a card anyway. I'm going to put 1 threat damage on him and put him back on here. And I'm going to bump this up to 2. And I'm going to attack this for 3 without using any die at all. And we're going to read that in a second. Let's just read it right now. All right, the painting, this doesn't look like a painting, it looks like a location. The painting adorns the wall. I guess it's a rock, but it was a head. Capturing a phantom. Doesn't it look like a head if we just look at it quickly? Because the water is green. Landscape, ethereal beauty. They would make the river blue then, not green. Each brushstroke retelling a tale of forgotten realms. All right, so defeat, I draw 2 skills. Oh no. Oh no. I don't want to do that. Shit. All right, I have so many now. Yeah. I'm going to do that because I want to use this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shoot. I need to take that one out too. Okay. All right, so this was used. This moves forward. This moves forward. This moves over here. And now this one's going to flip. And this one's going to move here, so I have an empty spot. All right, these guys deal 1 fight damage to a goblin threat. So they fight goblins as well. So you kind of want to leave him out if I have a goblin out there, which I don't have right now. So he's a fight of 3. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use my fight of 3. I'm going to bump this to 3. And I'm going to fight him for 3. And so I don't have to use anything because I got 2 and I have my bow for the 3rd one. So he's gone. Okay. And I have a reprieve right now too, which now I can go fight this. That's why I like fighting the shadows, because it gives me a reprieve. Okay, so that's going to move to the back. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I still have 6. So I've taken on the card. Heal 1 spirit, which I don't need. Lose 1 influence to deal 2 sneak damage to a location. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to tilt this just to get it back. Discard that, and I'm going to deal 2 damage to the location. And this one, if I have... Oh, that's the healing one, which I don't need. Okay. I could wipe that location out completely now that I got a reprieve. Because I only need 2. So let's do that. Let's use that action. Wipe that out. And now we have the last one. Draw 2 skill cards, choose 1 to discard. But I have to be at 3, which I am. Where did my skill cards just go? Where did I just put my skill cards? Oh, geez, okay. Sorry that. All right, so I'm on the last one. I only need to do 3 to that. All right, so let's reset. This guy's going to come out. Huh? I already did this one. Oh, I thought it was applied. It's not. There's multiple ones in there. Ah, damn it. All right, I need 4. Is that what I had on the last one? 4 also? And the last one was 3. This one's different. No, it's the same otherwise. All right, so let's use 4. So I have 1, 2. Let's say I just want to get rid of him because does this thing do any damage to me? Does no damage. Let's get rid of him. Because I only need 2 to get rid of him. And I have 3 right now. So let's get rid of him. And I don't have to lose anything for doing that. Let's tilt this one to make it 4. Get rid of him. Okay. This one does no damage to me, or else it would right now. All right, this would all stand up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When I draw a new card, I'm going to have to get rid of something at the end of this. I know what it's going to be. Because I got my awesome card. I just hope there's not something that allows me to eliminate I had to eliminate this card the last time I played. So let's do that. It allows me to reveal a shadow. So I'm going to reveal the one all the way back here. And I'm going to add 1 to each one of these. So 3. Takes me more time to find the side than anything else. Okay. This one's maxed out. All right, so I have to deal with that. And it's 4, so 2, 3. I really don't want to drop that. And this one is 7, because I do have cards. Everything I have is fight, except for this. But maybe I can use this next turn, or do I get rid of her now? Maybe I do that. Because this gives me 5, 6, 7, 8, and a bunch. 13. So I can definitely kill that 7. So let's see. 7, so 5, 6, 7. I don't have to use them to die at all. So let's discard that. Knock her right out. Leave that one there. Doesn't do any damage to me anyway. And defeat, block any. Okay, there's no block. I could have blocked that attack anyway. And let's bump this one up to 4. And let's swap the spaces. Okay. So now you'll see that we have multiple threats now. And the reason that stays there is at the end we have to read it. Oh no. This guy is the worst. All right. He gets shielded right off the bat. I need something that does... Well, I gotta get a card. Damn it. I need something that does like just 1 damage to something without me having to attack it. I don't have anything. Yes, here. Lose 1 spirit to deal 2 fight damage to 1 single threat. I am going to do that. And I'm going to go down to 19. So I can defeat this shield. Because or else I have to waste an action. And then he'll attack me for 2. Well, the good news is he's only got 3 influence. I guess he likes talking, even though he's dead. I guess he has nobody else to talk to. I don't know. Reveal shield. Defeat, add 1 threat. So it's 3. So I'm going to bump this up to 6 for my tilt. We're going to use 3 here. I don't know if I have any influence cards. I don't. Okay, so this is 2. This is going to be knocked down to 3. This is going to get turned. He's going to go away. And we're automatically going to flip a new thread. Oh, are these the guys? Each hero discards 1 skill. No, he's not the bad one. Alright, so this is all going to move over. I use this. This is going to go here. Okay, this is going to move over here. Grab a card. Deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat. That guy really screwed me by bringing out a new threat like that. Okay. Because he's a big one too. He's 5. Let's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Or I can just fight him. Because I have deal 1 fight. So 3, 4, 5. And I'd have to use 2. Yeah, let's do that. Or I could go 2, 3. And use that one. So this would be 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have to use anything. And I can swap out my skills if I want, which I do. No, because I can heal this back up to 20. So I'm not going to swap out. So let's just jump that back up to 20. And defeat him with sneak. And I have to discard skill for that. Kill that. I went from 6 down to 3. I have 3 cards in my hand now. Okay, so he's gone. I use this. So this will come over here. I am going to bump this to 4. My tilt action. Okay, so that goes here. That goes here. This is going to come out. All right. So I got a plot, 4 attack, and then I get to make a choice after that. So I'm going to attack the door, I guess, portcullis. And again, that just sits there. But what this does is it allows me to heal 2. That's why that one's there. That's why I haven't really been dealing with it. All right, so let's grab a card. I'm going to use damage on this one. So I'm going to use her. I'm going to deal 1 fight damage. So 1, 2. Ooh, do I need it? I don't need it. 3, 4, right here, without me using any of the die. All right, so let's attack that with 4. And then I can lift it with fight of 5, of which I definitely can do. So I read B19 for that. So let's read B19. All right, portcullis lift. Beneath the weighty portcullis, your sinews strain with Herculean effort. Okay. I don't know how Herculean my chick is, but with each labored breath, the iron lattice yields to your implacable strength. Your heaving grunts fill the chamber, a testament to your determination as you defy the formidable barrier, emerging on the other side victorious, a hidden witness, gasped at your display of might. Gore blimey! That's my British accent or whatever. Footsteps skitter off into the darkness, but you are too tired to give chase. Deal 3 sneak damage to an active location or reveal 1 shadow. I would really love to reveal the shadow. However, it's only 3. So if I do that, then this one is done. I don't have to worry about those anymore. But I really would like to reveal the shadow. Okay, so that's the end of that round. I didn't tilt anything, so let's move that to 5. And we're going to move that down. Isn't that what I... Yes, that's what I did. Okay, so this will... My influence is now up. Okay. This is going to flip. And we're going to stop at an hour. I think you have a really good idea about how to play at this point. All right, so we have another attack, or I have a stealth of 3. And I get to heal 1, not that I'm damaged. I really would like to... Oh, I get a card. Reveal 1 shadow. That's exactly what I wanted. Let's reveal the middle. And he's a fight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to automatically do 1 damage to him. So I only have to deal with 3. And again, she's the only one that can deal damage in shadows. But I do need, I need a sneak of 3. So I have 2, 3 here without using a card. I'm going to bump this one all the way up to 6 for my tilt. And I'm going to defeat this. All right, the defeat, choose 1 option. So I can parriate. I don't even know what that means. Repatriate. Loot or destroy. Then use another action if able. Nice. Liking that. Alright, so I don't know where repatriate, I have no idea what that means. So I'm going to loot it for B008. Let's go to B008. Alright. Lost Troven Treasure Trove loot. In the heart of the dwarves' stolen trove, your inquisitive fingers unearth a concealed item, glimmering with venerable resilience. The cool touch of the enchanted material against your skin reveals a coveted prize. Against the carefully guarded possessions, you emerge a new-found guardian carrying a storied treasure of the mountain realm. Draw 1 bronze asset or gain 1 spirit. So I'm going to draw 1 bronze. And I get a loot card. Oh, flip to reveal 1 shadow. We like that. Okay. That's always my biggest problem, is getting those things out of there. But I get another action based on that card. So let's kill that dwarf. So he requires 3 more. So 1, 2, and this is going to go down to 5. He's gone. Nice. Okay, everything's going to stay where it is. I'm not going to reveal another shadow just yet. So I'm going to wait for them to catch up. Oops, I get my last card. Play immediately. Discard 1 non-foe threat, lose 1 spirit, and exile. Okay, so that's out of the game. At least until the next convention. So he automatically dies. Each hero discards 1 skill. Well, that blows. Shit. Okay. I'm just going to put my exiles over here. Don't get mixed up. So this gets reshuffled.
So it would be cooler if it was a deck builder, where during portions of the thing I get to add cards to my hand. But the only time you can upgrade is in between adventures, not during adventures. I would prefer it being during, because then when I mix my cards up, I'm like, oh, I get an extra card in there, even if the game's half over, which I think it is. Oh, I was supposed to lose one life too, by the way. So let's do that. Let's just shuffle this one more time and do that. Okay, I'll probably take that off screen anyway. So let's see, I'll be down to 19. All right, so let's move all this over. Oh wait, I haven't gone yet. I was just revealing that card. So I haven't even. Let's. Oh shit. Do I want to reveal the shadows this early? Because now I have to wait. That's the only problem with this. And that's why this isn't really a dungeon crawler. I'm used to dungeon crawlers where you're basically placing your figure into strategic areas. Here you're basically waiting for the next guy to come up. Alright, so I need 4 for that. So 2, 3, and I guess I'll use 1 for 5. 4. 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Just to get rid of it. Alright, and then this would move over. Let's bump this back up to 6. Okay. If everything moves over 1. I'm going to take a card. Okay. And I am going to spin this to reveal a shadow. Ooh. I hate these guys. Okay. Deal 1 influence damage to 1 threat, just to get rid of this. And he is influence on top of that. That would have actually helped me. Add 1 influence to an influence action. So first of all, I'm going to bump that to 5. And I'm going to use this. So here's, I need 4. So 3, 4. I don't need to use the die. And let's get rid of him. Add 1 threat. Okay. Down to 1 card in my hand. Alright, so new round. That'll flip. I have nothing else that reveals shadows. Oh, I got a block. I don't need a block. I'm sure later in other things where you get riddled that the block would come in handy. Let's see what his says. Reveal, lose 1 fight power. Boy, you're a dick. So I'm going to get it back. I'm going to tilt to get it back. And I'm going to sneak him for 4. So 2, 3, 4. This is going to drop to 4. And kill him. Okay. All right, we're on an hour. So yeah. I don't know if I should do another version of this because I'm pretty sure you know how to play at this point. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. This way you guys can finish the ending on your own. All right? Thanks for watching, guys, and let's do final thoughts.
All right, welcome back to Final Thoughts. So yeah, I was gonna win the game. In fact, I kept going after I cut it, and I did win pretty easily. I did go on the first one. I only think I got dropped onto like 14 or 12, maybe 13. Here I dropped down to 8, so I was getting hit more than I was in the previous game. But I did only get to 8, and so it wasn't like I got down to 1 or 2 hit points. So it's pretty close to half. So I know it's the first one. It's probably obviously going to get harder. But is this game again? It took me over an hour and a half to play. So that's only the first one, right? So I don't know how much different the next one is in comparison, but they're all have to do with 5 enemies, right? So I looked at them all, and they're all 5 enemies. So they're all probably the same amount of time. Of course, you're also, getting more gear, and you're upgrading your deck as you go, because at the end of the last one, you had to upgrade, or you're allowed to upgrade 2 of the cards. So it's the same size deck. It's just some of the powers are stronger, so you might be able to get through it a little bit quicker. But that's why each one of the types of monsters has 5 cards in it, 3 of one type and 2 of another that fall under one category, and that is because there's 5, like I showed you in the beginning. There's 5 stacks of cards, so that makes everything equal. So if you ever have an extra card that doesn't fit into one of those stacks, you did something wrong. As far as the threats are concerned, but I mean it's fun, but it's it's the same. It's a more complicated version of Set a Watch. I mean, the Set a Watch is exactly the same thing, except that you have the line of creatures that is coming, and you have to take care of them all before time runs out. And this is exactly the same thing. I do like the die, but if I'm going to play a dungeon crawl, I prefer the strategic portions where I'm placing my character on certain, things to give me the most amount of reach and the most amount of blocking, shielding from walls, etc. And if I'm playing multiple characters, I can play on a dungeon crawl. I can play 2-3 characters at the same time, as opposed to just one. And it's with putting the threat tokens on, or whatever, the damage tokens on the location. Reminds me of Marvel Champions a little bit, and Marvel Champions is a far superior game than this, I think. The artwork is great. Tristan, you can't say anything bad about Tristan Hall's artwork, but I think that the replayability here is not here. So I don't think that it has huge amounts of replayability. So I'm going to play through, maybe 1 campaign, maybe 2, because I have the expansion, and that's going to be it. And then I'm probably going to sell it. So where I have all the stuff for Killforth, and I think Killforth has a lot of replayability. So that's my 2 cents on that. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for watching all the way through. I appreciate it. And if I did do something wrong, definitely let me know. The comments below, I answer, pretty much all the comments. Also, remember to give me a like, give me a thumbs up if you can. And if you can, give me a subscribe. It's free. Ring that bell, ding, ding. And also remember to jump into Mythlords, classic monsters, where you can play as your favorite classic monster. We have the commanders here, which is Dracula, Frankenstein, Creature from the Deep, and the Wolfman. And you are constructing your monster army where you're fighting other monsters. And then you're fighting over locations, which is like the Mummy's Tomb, the Ghost Ship, and other things. We also have a Dark Oz expansion. And the campaign is going to come with STLs for the monsters, their commanders. So we have Frankenstein and Dracula, among others. So yeah, it's going to play 1 to 5 players once we unlock the 5th player. The solo mode is already going to be included. All right. Anyway, thank you guys again. Check out some of my other videos, and I will see you on the next one. All right. Have a good night, guys.